I dig that music. What can I say? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is 4/21/21, April 21st, 2021. And this is the third episode of Jolly Talks. My hair is a mess. It's been a wild day. And today, we're going to talk about some fucking football. But where should we start? There's a lot going on in the football world with the draft coming up, but could Josh Allen be getting a contract extension by the time the season starts? Bean, the GM out in Buffalo, decided to hold a press conference today or talk to the media or something. I don't know exactly what he did, but he made a statement that came across my timeline, and that was, after the draft, number one priority is to give Josh Allen a contract extension. So does that mean Josh Allen is getting a contract extension? Yeah, probably. I mean, he's the guy. He is a guy. He is one of the guys in the NFL. He took leaps and bounds from year 1 to year 2, and from year 2 to year 3, more leaps and bounds. Jay Dare, nice to see you. Glad you joined me, specifically me, because you love me. That's all that matters. He played well. You'd want him to stay put. Honestly, if you have a quarterback that plays halfway decent and you can't find a better option, you want them to stay put. In Josh Allen's case, he was the 7th overall pick in 2018, and he happened to actually be really good. He's led Buffalo to 2 straight playoff berths, one as the division lead, one as a wild card. And he took that team to the AFC Championship game last year. Where do you go wrong? How can you sit there and say Josh Allen doesn't deserve to have a contract extension? The question becomes, does Josh Allen deserve to get top 5 quarterback money? Quite frankly, at this contract right now, I would not give Josh Allen top 5 money. Top 10, maybe. Top 10, probably, actually. Top 5, I mean, I probably wouldn't have given Prescott top 5 money, but I like Prescott. And Dallas had absolutely no other choice, as made evident by their season last year when Dak Prescott had that gruesome injury. Josh Allen hasn't had that kind of injury. 7th best deserves 7th best money. Jay, it's not quite how football works, my man. Dak Prescott is not the 2nd best quarterback in the NFL, but he's getting 2nd best money. Patrick Mahomes is probably the best quarterback in the NFL, and he's getting the most money, so that, I guess, adds up. So if you take some, you lose some. Josh Allen's going to stay in Buffalo one way or another. It's just going to come down to how many dollar bills, yo. And I think a good number for him would be a solid three-year contract. Brings him to about 25. He's 24 now, so 7. Brings him to 27. Let him re-sign again when he's 27 to the long-term deal. You just need to get more consistency out of him. Martin, nice to see you. Glad you've joined us. Buffalo should pay him ASAP. Allen deserves the money that Buffalo is going to pay him. Did Allen turn around Buffalo, or did Sean McDermott turn around Buffalo? Anthony, welcome to Jolly Talks. I haven't seen you pop up yet. Nice to see you, my man. Of course you will get an extension. What are the other options for Buffalo? They need to. Who is their backup right now? I don't know. I bet you Tyrod Taylor will be on the market again next year. He's going to have a great season in Houston. It's going to be phenomenal to watch how bad Houston is. Obviously, we can all reasonably deduct a quarterback that young, not even technically in his prime yet, is going to get a contract extension. So it's going to come down to the money. If he was drafted in 18, 19, 20, 21, so 18 season, 19 season, 20 season, 21 season, and then the 5th year option would kick in. So it looks like they're trying to get him the contract before that 5th-year option has to kick in, which means they're probably trying to save money because the 5th-year option is probably going to come in high 20s. Matt Barkley. Oh man, Matt Barkley was such a stud coming out of college. I'm so mad he never got a fair chance to be a starter in the NFL. So mad. I loved Matt Barkley. What a guy in college. Then just Matt Barkley. I think given the right opportunity, Matt Barkley could shine. Send him to Philadelphia right now. Philadelphia. Speaking of Philadelphia, head coach Nick Sirianni has stated that they are having a competition for the quarterback. The quarterback. You're telling me you shipped, this is going to be a tangent, so we're going to just random tangent this one. You're telling me you shipped Carson Wentz to Indianapolis to make Jalen Hurts have a fucking quarterback competition. How does that make any sense? If Jalen Hurts isn't your guy, you shouldn't have traded Carson Wentz, especially when he was $30 million against the cap. What were you thinking? But what do I know? I'm just a guy talking shit on Facebook Live right now and Twitch. We're on Twitch too. Can't forget about that. I could probably do a better job than half of these GMs at this point. Jalen Hurts versus Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's with Philadelphia? That's the quarterback competition? Jalen Hurts and Joe Flacco? So somebody told me this earlier. Jalen Hurts would be under a quarterback competition. And I was like, oh, they don't have a backup. Who's he having a competition with? God himself? All right, Tim Tebow's back in the NFL. Got it. Moving on. It's Joe Flacco, who fizzled out with the Jets, who couldn't keep his starting job over Lamar Jackson, who is historically one of the most inaccurate passers of this generation. And he's just kind of, I think he went to Denver. That probably failed too. But what are you going to do? Have a quarterback competition between a second-year player and a guy who can't keep a job. This isn't Ryan Fitzpatrick we're talking about. This is Joe fucking Flacco. He doesn't, in any way, shape, or form, deserve a starting job in the NFL at this point. Now that I've wasted 11 minutes of Josh Allen getting paid, I'm kind of proud of myself on that. I didn't expect myself. Well, actually, it's been 8 minutes. I started this a little early to test something, see if it worked. Big news. Big conspiracy theory news in the NFL. We got 2 conspiracy theories to talk about tonight. But first, guys, make sure you like this video. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you comment on this video. I want to hear from you. I want you to like it. I want you to share. In other words, be a friend and tell a friend that I am talking shit right now. Could Jordan Love be going to the Patriots? I don't know if you've seen this this very sus photo going around the internet where it's just a binder and paper sticking out of the top in a very, very perfect fashion, and paper sticking out of the bottom in a very, very perfect fashion. And it looks like it's from the Green Bay Packers front office, one way, shape, or form, where it says round 1, pick 29, round 3, whatever pick number that is, and Jordan Love to the New England Patriots for pick 15. So that's what we're going to grasp on in New England for a quarterback. Jordan Love, who never once dressed this season. I don't trust him. Jay, it's a conspiracy. Oh, just you wait. Wait till I get to my next conspiracy. This is the bigger conspiracy. I'm talking about the small conspiracy right now. And Jordan Love is probably not going to the Patriots. But hey, I'm just here to talk about shit. If I see it come across my newsfeed, it's free game. I might talk about it. That's how this show goes. That's how this show rolls. Martin says, I don't want Jordan Love. I'd rather trade up to get Trey Lance or Justin Fields. Speaking of Justin Fields, he is dealing with epilepsy, which has not affected his football career, but he has been very open and honest with NFL teams about it. Interesting piece of information for us to have. Epilepsy is a neurological disorder that I have in my notes somewhere that can cause seizures, and it has not affected his football play. So if it hasn't affected he has a family history of it. If it hasn't affected his football play, to me, it's a null and void issue. As long as it doesn't actually manifest itself into an issue once he hits the big time football field. Flash photography is not allowed in NFL stadiums, so there's a good chance it probably won't affect him. I think that was the first time I said tonight. I'm doing good. I don't know if you guys follow sketchy Twitter posts and sketchy Instagram posts like this, but I love talking about this random stuff that could potentially happen. Jordan Love to the Patriots is not something I want to happen, but it's cool to talk about leading up to the draft. If the Patriots trade back, I'm a Jaguars fan next season. It's that simple. The Patriots cannot afford to trade back in this draft. So if they want to do a 29 for 15 and Jordan Love swap, no, I'm out. I want nothing to do with it. I will follow the Jaguars. I will follow the Vikings. I will give up on the Patriots until Belichick is out, just gone, done. I am so tired of the Patriots trading out of the first round. Don't want anything to do with it. Moving on. We have a QB battle down in New Orleans. Taysom Hill is strictly practicing as a quarterback, and Jameis Winston is outworking everybody. Now, I don't know how Taysom Hill is gonna outwork Jameis Winston, who's outworking Dak Prescott, who was standing right next to him when he was saying he was outworking every other quarterback in the league. And I don't know if you could outwork the guy that's coming back from an injury like Dak Prescott. I don't know. I don't think that's possible. Dak Prescott's putting in a lot of work right now. And Jameis Winston thinks that he is putting in more work. I'm going to have to highly doubt that. What is Jameis Winston doing? Just running the field? Lifting more weights? Throwing more balls? He's not learning to walk again, that's for sure. So I'm going to have to strongly disagree with Jameis Winston on this one, that he's probably not outworking Dak Prescott. Is he outworking Taysom Hill? It is far more plausible. Sean Payton has stated that it is an open quarterback conversation, and they're going to go with the guy that is best for the position. Now, Taysom Hill signed a 4-year, $160 million contract that has all voidable years after this year, so he really just signed a 1-year deal. Dumbest contract I've ever heard of anybody agreeing to. Don't know how that happened. Fire your agent. Or are you going to go with the guy that Drew Brees said, this is your team now, in Jameis Winston, who can see? He has eyes now. He got LASIK. He shouldn't be throwing 30 interceptions in the season. However, even when he threw those 30 interceptions, he was electric. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. However, 30 interceptions will do you in every time. And I don't think you want to do that. However, the wild card in all of this is Russell Wilson did put New Orleans on his short list of teams he would go to. Is it likely? Absolutely not. But again, as I said earlier, I'm just talking about things I know. I'm talking about things I see. I'm talking about rumors, innuendos, anything that could possibly come up. And Russell Wilson to New Orleans, very unlikely. New Orleans does not have the cap space, although cap space can be toyed and tinkered with and changed at any point. But if they turn down 3 first-round picks and 2 starters from Chicago, I I don't think the Saints are going to give an offer even like close to that because they need those first round picks to rebuild this team. They're probably not even a playoff team this year, if we're being completely honest. I guess we'll call that a hot take. New Orleans not making the playoffs. Tampa Bay is going to whitewash that division again this year. Atlanta and Carolina. I guess I can see Carolina making strides, but I don't know if I'm going to trust Sam Darnold. Darnold, all the same. So yeah, that's our football news for the day. I might tangent back into something, and somebody may comment something. Oh, I forgot about my conspiracy theory. Martin says Winston had a year under Drew Brees, so I think he will be just fine if he starts at QB. The year behind Brees had to help him a lot, and hopefully will help him cut down on those mistakes. I agree. I think a year behind somebody like Drew Brees, somebody like Tom Brady, being behind Tom Brady didn't help a single one of those quarterbacks. Never mind. Somebody like Aaron Rodgers, somebody like Peyton Manning, somebody like even I guess Joe Flacco. No, I see. I can't do it. I can't give Flacco credit for anything. He shouldn't have won any Super Bowl. I can't do it. That's on me. I can't do it. Winston's in a good spot. It's his team, which is beautiful. And he just needs to outbeat Taysom Hill, who's been playing utility and will probably continue to play utility for the foreseeable future until he gets cut. Now, I want to get to my Patriots conspiracy theory. Back in 2017, we have a brand new report out today. According to Sean Wickersham, what a name, who's writing a book on the dynasty that the Patriots went on. Back in 2017, when Bill Belichick was ready to walk out of the building because they refused to go with Jimmy Garoppolo and instead kept Tom Brady. What a firestorm. So you had Tom Brady not showing up to OTAs for the first time, being like, yo, I want out. You had Belichick going to other places like, yo, I want out. He talked to Miami. He talked to Washington. He talked to the Giants. He's just like, yo, I want the fuck up out of here. And then you had Robert Kraft going through his legal issues because of the, what was it? I can't remember the exact name of the business in question at this point. We all know what those were. I'm not going to say it. We all know what Kraft did and or didn't do, allegedly. So, I mean, if I'm Robert Kraft, I'm sitting there like, guys, I have my own issues to deal with. I want nothing to do with this. You two figure it out. I would have assumed it meant one of them walking out the door. Neither one of them walked out the door. Belichick and Brady go on to win another Super Bowl. But the real question is, I should probably switch my banner here. I got way into my conversation, and this is now a random tangent. The real question is, if Belichick leaves New England and goes to Miami, does Belichick win a Super Bowl? Does Brady win a Super Bowl in New England? It took Tom Brady having the most talented team ever around him in Tampa Bay to win this Super Bowl. You take away Mike Evans, you take away Chris Godwin, you take away Leonard Fournette, they probably don't win that Super Bowl even with Tom Brady. So it comes down to, is it the coach or is it the quarterback? Who's the real mastermind behind the dynasty? And it's a question we will never get answered unless Tom Brady goes to the Jets and wins a fucking Super Bowl. Then I guess we answer the question. If Tom Brady goes to Houston right now and wins a fucking Super Bowl, we have an answer to the question. But if Belichick literally just wins another Super Bowl, we also have the answer to the question. It would be Belichick because he can coach anybody. Do I think the Patriots are good enough to win a Super Bowl with Cam Newton? Probably not. Cam Newton looked like he had a case of the noodle arms going on. A little rough to watch. That's my conspiracy theory of the day for the New England Patriots. I am going to pivot over to baseball real quick. The San Diego Padres got one of their starting pitchers back today. I believe it's Danielson Lamet made a season debut today. He lasted 2 innings before leaving the game against the Milwaukee Brewers with forearm tightness. The San Diego Padres have quite arguably one of the best pitching staffs in all of baseball right now. They need Lamet healthy. He is a big piece to the back end of that rotation. If he can't be healthy, they are going to need a starting pitcher at the deadline. And I know we're nowhere near the deadline, but Lamet's he didn't start the season, and now he's finally getting his first start, and he's already out. I want to talk about Nick Castellanos he's not with Cincinnati anymore. My bad. Is he with Cincinnati? He's played on a lot of teams. He is with Cincinnati. So Nick Castellanos was involved in a benches clearing brawl. When I say involved, what I really mean to tell you is that Nick Castellanos got super passionate about being hit by a pitch, started mouthing off, and walked away. The two teams cleared their benches. The only man suspended in this entire ordeal was Nick Castellanos. Then he appealed the suspension because he literally did nothing. And the MLB upholds his suspension and denies his appeal request, stating, and I quote, his aggressive actions and is instigating, I wrote this wrong, his aggressive actions, and he instigated a benches clearing incident. Are you telling me you don't want your players to be passionate anymore? In the MLB, we don't want passion. He got hit by a fucking pitch. He was pissed. And then he mouthed a little and walked right away. It's not like he charged the pitcher. He didn't throw any punches. How are you going to suspend him for 2 games? All he did was start yelling at the guy and walk away. Jay Dare says the MLB wants it to be boring. Isn't that the truth, man? It is so just, I don't even understand how you can want to be that boring. You want to, I'm all for letting the players take roids. Let the players play. Let them take roids. Let them have their fun. Let them 100% be monitored by the doctors in the MLB. Chad, how are you? Nice to see you. Glad you could join us. If baseball wants to, the last 18 days of baseball have been the highest rated baseball's done in like 20 years, which is good for baseball. But you can't be doing shit like this. How, in any way, shape, or form, does suspending somebody for yelling about getting hit by a pitch help your sport? It doesn't. Nothing about that helps your sport. Guys, make sure you like, share, comment, be a friend, tell a friend, let people know I'm alive and I'm here talking. I'm yelling. I probably shouldn't be yelling. I'm amazed I haven't been yelled at by somebody in my house yet. This is yesterday's notes and they are useless. Unless we want to talk about Mike Tomlin's 3-year contract extension again, but we covered that yesterday. You can go back on Spotify and find the video for yesterday's show. Also, in case you missed it on Facebook and Twitch, you can go back and watch Ringside Roundup, our wrestling show with myself, Kraith, Martin, and Jay, who showed up in the last 15 minutes from an undisclosed location. If you watch the show, you'll get that. It's the ha 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 ha. So we're going to talk about the top cornerback. Undisclosed. We're going to talk about the top cornerbacks coming up in the draft next week. We are exactly 8 days away from the first round of the NFL draft, and I am all for it. I cannot wait. I have 5 people listed here. It's the top 5, allegedly. 3 of the top 5 are former NFL players' sons. You have Patrick Surtain II, Asante Samuel Jr. If you can't tell who their fathers are, I can't help you. Patrick Surtain II and Asante Samuel Jr. You should know who their fathers are. It's pretty cut and dry on this one, guys. And then there's J.C. Horn, who is Joe Horn's son. I had no idea Joe Horn's son was in this draft class until I started compiling this. But 3 of the top 5 are the sons of former NFL players. 2 of them are former NFL greats, like Asante Samuel, legendary. Patrick Surtain, legendary. You know what? Joe Horn, legendary. And then you have Caleb Farley, who's regarded as the number 1 CB in this entire draft. Chad says, Justin Fields to the 49ers and Trey Lance to the Pats. In that scenario, do the Patriots have to trade up to get Trey Lance? Guess we'll switch over to this real quick and get rid of this banner because I am really bad at this. Trey Lance probably doesn't fall past Denver at 9. And then you have Carolina at 8 willing to trade back. And you have Atlanta at 4 willing to trade back. So you have 2 people that are fully willing to trade back. However, Denver also may potentially trade up. Miami is also willing to trade back again. Remember, Miami went from 3, traded with San Francisco, to 12, then traded with the Eagles to get back to 6. So why are they willing to trade again? I got that answer for you right here. The Miami Dolphins are stockpiling draft picks for next year because they'll have a normal and completely not wild process leading up to the draft. They'll have the pro days correctly. They'll have the combine. They'll be able to actually meet in person with these kids. Allegedly, of course. We don't know what's going to happen with COVID. Nobody does. But if they can just do everything by the book, it seems like Miami's going to be more comfortable with that. So I don't think Miami's going to be looking for picks this year. I think they are very happy with their team. They're going to get a running back, whether it be Etney or Najee Harris at 23. And I think they're just going to play out this year and let Tua. Patriots are probably going to try to trade up. Martin says, I'd say yes. So this is to the Patriots trading up. And Carolina is someone who we can trade with if Lance or Fields is still on the board after the 4th pick. If Denver doesn't trade up to 4, then absolutely unequivocally, the Atlanta Falcons are not taking a quarterback. They have no need to. They are tied to Matt Ryan. There's too much money there. Jay says this is a great year to try and grow Tua and see in person what talent they can surround him with. COVID put a damper in a lot of teams' plans. That's not going to change until hopefully next year. And there are teams that are more comfortable with the full process. But, ladies and gentlemen, my half an hour is up. So, thank you for joining me. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for just talking and having a great time. Don't forget, I will be back tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, because not everybody's in Central Time. And tomorrow's the last show of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we talked about a lot tonight. And we will be back tomorrow, Ringside Roundup. We'll be back on Tuesday, Inside the Ice. We'll be back indefinitely at this point. I don't know. They will be back, though. Thank you for joining me. I love you. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.